so many different types, so many different strategies. That's the problem. So for most people, there's a couple of things here in terms of where to start and how to start. So number one, start local. Start with a market you're familiar with, and look at what's available to you there, and then figure out what interests you there. Some people, houses are going to interest you. Some, it might be industrial. Others, it might be mobile home parks. It could be office, retail, it could be triple net, could be land lease. Whatever it is, whatever speaks to you, there's a reason that is speaking to you.
Yeah.
So dig into it, understand it. Now, here's the thing. If you're going to be broad in the type of asset you're investing in, then you can be more local in your geography. You can be in a smaller area. So I'm regional. My whole career, I've been from North Carolina to East Coast up into the DC area. So pretty much regional is where I've stayed because I'm agnostic, asset class agnostic, asset type agnostic. So I'll do anything that makes sense because I like to do different things. When you're that way, you can be very narrow in your geography. Now, if you want to be single asset focused outside of residential, and even residential in your area, it might be limited. But let's say you want to do apartment buildings, 200 to 400 units, class B and C, value add. Well, then you got to broaden your geography because wherever you're at, there's probably only so many of them unless you're just in a huge metro. So then you can go nationwide with those types of properties and classes of property. So the more focused you are on your type, the more broad your geography needs to be. The more diverse you are in your asset type, the broader you can be in your geography. So for the millennial, for the young 20-year-old, 18-year-old, 20-year-old, you're in college, you're just starting out, whatever, learn creative financing. If you don't have money, if you don't have cash to invest, and you can't qualify for loans because you don't make enough money, learn creative financing. You can get into properties with no money down. You can get into properties on subject to, lease options, rent to own. There's a lot of different ways that you can do that. So study those terms, understand that. If you can borrow money and you've got enough to put down on something, start small and build it. I can tell you there's 2 or 3 developers, a couple of them are billionaires, that started in college with one duplex. They lived in one side, rented the other, and then they just started buying, and they raised capital from other investors and they grew from there. So there's story after story of people that started out just like that and built empires.